As a product photographer, finding inspiration can sometimes be a real struggle, especially when you've got a heavy workload on. It's not always possible to just like whip up amazing content in the nick of time, but there is a looming deadline that we have to meet. So what do we do when we feel creatively stuck? In these situations, I go directly to my prop cupboard. I literally stare at my Moodelier props. And I know that these blocks are always gonna make any scene look professional, high quality, and interesting. And I can always rely on these props to just help me create stunning photos and just get those creative juices flowing again. This video is sponsored by Moodelier, and you've probably seen me mention their name a few times on my channel. So in today's video, we are going to be doing some behind the scenes styling together to give you some inspiration for your next photo shoot and how I put these two scenes together here. Now, before we get stuck into the BTS, the Moodelier pieces actually have multiple uses. So instead of storing these beautiful pieces away in a cupboard where no one is ever gonna see them except you, they're also perfect for home decor. And I know, especially for apartment living, we don't always have the storage space, so this is the perfect solution. So let me show you what I mean. Now, if you have the fluted columns bundle, you can use the little piece as a drink coaster. I absolutely love this little hack. It looks so aesthetic. It's such a vibe. So within the fluted columns bundle, there are 3 different sizes, and the other 2 sizes are sturdy enough to use as bookcase stoppers. I absolutely love how they make this little corner look. And here we're showcasing the 3 fluted columns together for this side table. I think it adds a really beautiful touch to this living space. This is one of my favorite Moodelier pieces, the squiggle, which is part of the squiggle portal bundle. It stands on its own and it just becomes a centerpiece for any home decor space. Here we have our curvy step. This is such a stylish piece that can elevate any kind of space in your home. And last but not least, we've got this beautiful piece from the Bumpy bundle. I'm using this to style this bedside table. I think it gives such a beautiful and modern look to the bedroom. Now let's get stuck into our behind the scenes and take a look at how we can mix and match different sets from Moodelier. So for our first scene, I'm going to be using 3 different bundles and putting these all together. And it's going to kind of mimic like a pool party. And then I'm going to do another version, more simplified version using this little guy. And then we're going to be putting water in here. Now, when you are dealing with the Moodelier blocks, do not leave them in water for very long. You'll need to be very quick, otherwise it will start to ruin the MDF, which is what they're made of. I'm gonna put that there. Now, I'm gonna light the candle in post-production. I don't need to do that here. I think I'm gonna leave out the lids. I'm gonna take this shot first. Once I've taken it, I'm happy with the angle, the lighting, and everything like that. I'm then gonna pour the water in and get the shot as quickly as I can. So let's move ahead and do that. All right, so now that I have my placement, I'm gonna actually take these away and fill the tray up with water so that I'm not going to have any chance of soaking the Moodelier props in water, because it's just not a good time. Now this tub is water sealed. This is from the Everyday Co, and they're available on her website now. So I'm gonna add in a few more bowls of water, and then I'm gonna create some ripples. So to create the ripples, I'm just going to be using a hairdryer. I find this is the best way and easiest way to create ripples in water. You can of course move it with your hands, but with the scene that we're doing, it's not going to work. So this is key. All right, so now that we've got our water, we're gonna move ahead and put our blocks back in and try and move as quickly as possible to take the shot. So for this next scene, what I want to do is something a little bit more simple. I'm still going to be using the fluted column from Moodelier, as I think it props the candle up nicely. And then we're going to chuck in this flamingo. So firstly, we're going to put the lid on here just to kind of weight that down, otherwise it'll just float away. We'll put our fluted column in. And again, we're working quickly because these do not do well in water for that long. And then I'm going to sit the box like that and try and get it on an angle. Okay, cool. Now we're going to add some ripples. So we've got our hairdryer, put it on high. So for our lighting, we're using the Godox FV150, and we're using a large piece of scrim paper as well, just to diffuse that light and soften the shadows a little bit more. Now, before we move on to our next scene, I want to quickly mention some of the features of the Moodelier brand. The pieces are made of MDF, so they're really high quality and sturdy. And you can select from multiple colors on order, and there are heaps of designs to choose from. You can also spray paint them as well if you need them to be a different color for your set. So I'll leave a link to the Moodelier website below, along with a discount code as well. But let's take a look at our next scene now. All right, for this next scene, we are going to be using this beautiful pink curtain as our background. This just adds a new layer of dimension, texture, and you can play around with how wide or small you want the ripples to be in the fabric, and how much shadow you want. So we're gonna be using 3 different bundles for the Moodelier props. And I love this combination because I just think it looks really beautiful together. Got our fluted column, just using the small one. I'm gonna pop that on an angle. Bring that more like there. And we're gonna be using our Pink Cosmetics Co. product today. I love this packaging. The girls have done an amazing job on their brand. Definitely go and check it out. And we've got the eyelash curler. So I'm gonna be using a very small amount of blue tack to secure this, and of course we'll get rid of that in editing. Okay, cool. I think that's all I want to do. I want to keep it nice and simple, and the feature really is this curtain background. So let's get shooting. Now I actually have a strobe light illuminating my background here. It's just giving a really nice glow behind the product. And then we've just got our light here, our Godox FV150. So I'm using 2 lights for this setup. But I absolutely love this combination of the Moodelier props. I think it looks really elegant, sophisticated, and it just makes the products truly stand out. Now, if you want to see more behind the scenes styling, Photoshop tutorials, learn more about how to run and scale a profitable photography business, make sure that you check out my course, Become a Brand Photographer, where I share all the tools you need to book consistent clients and build a career in this industry. So I'll link that below, and you can use the code YouTube for a little discount. Always feel free to send me a DM or an email if you're not sure whether it's the right fit. But otherwise, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little BTS. Make sure that you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.